has no friends. Welcome to my channel, Rosebuds. It's your girl, Ebony Rose, and I'm here with a message from the Divine Feminine Mother Goddess for the Divine Feminines. And as I said at the top of the video, a queen has no friends. Now, this message is for a feminine who has gotten herself in spaces where she just can't fit in. I'm getting that this divine feminine as well is in a space where things no longer fit with her past. She may have tried to rekindle friendships with old friends, maybe even rekindle relationships with old flames, exes, what have you. Rekindle relationships with family, and even currently speaking, trying to get herself to be in sync with her environment. But the thing is that what you must understand is that, Divine Feminine, it's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to be in sync with your environment. You're not going to be able to just gravitate and connect with your environment, and things won't be the same anymore either. So you can forget trying to rekindle anything. If anything, it's making you feel worse. Why? Because you see, the environment in which you find yourself in, you carry a different frequency. You don't carry the frequency in which you carry is not that of the environment. You carry a whole total different sort of frequency, which is why it doesn't matter what you do, things just don't seem to flow when it comes to you in that particular space surrounding that you find yourself in. You are on a path now where the old chapters of your life are being burned. So the pain that you feel right now, that is so hard, even to propel you to move forward, that is what's happening. That old chapter is being burned and a rebirth is happening. As a matter of fact, the Divine Feminine Mother Goddess is being born within. And it's crazy because if you think about it, when a mother is pregnant and she's going to give birth, in general, majority of mothers are complaining about the pain and all of that stuff, right? But regardless of the fact, when a conception has happened, you can't go backwards from that conception. And if you're going to give birth to a baby, you got to go through the process. And skipping the process, the baby must get here. Unless you're about to do other routes or whatever, and that has its own karma attached to it. But it's neither here or there. That's not even what I'm looking to get into. But now the Divine Mother, the Divine Feminine Mother Goddess is being birthed inside of you. So that same pain that mothers go through when delivering their babies, imagine what she had to go through when birthing you. That is what you are feeling. Her being ignited in your temple. Because you hold a different frequency. A primordial one is something that is deemed since the dawn of time with you, yourself. That is why you always find yourself in the victim of people, just gonna say it, who seem to be of lower stature than yourself. Because it was in past lives where you ended up being overthrown. You were overthrown. Could be because you were not rooted in power, but instead inherited and brought into power. And maybe, could have gotten over your head. Perhaps you was a little too authoritative, strict, mean, or you could have been somebody that was easily bendable, nice. But none of those qualities would work for you. Yes, the authoritative part, yeah. That's not really what I was trying to say in the beginning, but overbearing, strict, so much of a what's the word I'm looking for? Dictator. And now things are being put in a different place, because when you're put in a place where you got to build things from the ground up, you see things that otherwise would not be seen, which makes you more well-rounded. That's the word, well-rounded. And right now, first off, you're not where you're supposed to. You're on the path, or you're getting on the path, but you're not there yet, but you're being prepared. And what the Divine Mother Goddess is asking of you right now is for you to embrace the discomfort that you're feeling. I'm getting right now a download or upload, whatever, that you should work with, what is her name again? The goddess, Inanna's sister, Erishkigal, goddess Erishkigal. Get acquainted with her, as she would be the goddess to help you at this time. Goddess Erishkigal, Kali, Ursuli Dantor, Oya. These are the names that are coming into mind that you might want to get into, connecting with deities and energies, because that is going to be what gets you through this whole entire discomfort, because there's no turning back. Once when something is conceptualized, there's no reversing it. When your third eye opens, there's no closing it. You are not in ignorance anymore. And in the ignorance that you was in, it did not bring you bliss. And right now you feel like you're in an up or an ongoing battle, and you're wondering if you're ever gonna find that bliss. You will. You will. The whole point is for you to bring heaven here down on earth and establish the queendom of heaven here on earth. I'm getting another upload that everybody, the masses, talking about the kingdom of heaven and all that stuff, which they don't even know what that means. However, as much as there ought to be a kingdom established here on earth, there just as much, or if not more, needs to be a queendom. And that queendom is on the rise. And that's what you're feeling right now in your world. Where we at right now, 9 minutes. So, I'm not going to be long, but work with those goddesses that I've mentioned. Because that pain and all of that is not for you to go back. It's not for you to go back to what's comfortable, because at the end of the day, you are not brought here to succumb into human feelings. That's not what royals do. They come here on assignment. So You know, you could try to go fit in and have this human experience all you want to, but it just will not work. And the more you could embrace what you deem to not feel right or deem to be a curse, the more you'll realize that it's actually a blessing. You'll begin to put your own self on the pedestal, because you'll realize that you yourself are actually the bar. So in our reality, you know, queens, they have advisors. They have all these people, you know, in different sectors of their life and establishments to help them bring about this queendom. It doesn't necessarily have to be friends, because having a friend near your circle, especially if they're not on assignment, is just as close to having a newfound enemy. So, you know, keep that in mind. So when you do go about establishing your circle again, you do so on a conscious level. Because keep in mind, this life is not just about you feeling good, but it's about you. Yes, you are meant to feel good. Yes, you are meant to experience pleasure. But pleasure comes from within. And that pain that you feel, you're going to also need to transmute that and make it become pleasure. Because that pain can be transmuted to pleasure. But that's for you to do. But that pleasure comes in every embodiment of a queen. That queen is pleasure herself. So that pleasure is not to be sought out from you. You are only pleased and by the externals because you yourself carry that frequency within. So by default, all of your experiences are pleasurable. But again, a queen has no friends. This is why you don't fit in. You carry your own frequency. So study that frequency. Get to learn that frequency. And I'll see you on the next one. If this message resonated, y'all, you know, like the YouTubers say, give your girl a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, because these messages are coming and they're coming in hot. But anyway, it was a pleasure. It's your girl Ebony Rose, and we are building our garden, so I'm glad to have you with us, and until next time.